with me today. I'm with some internet issues where the whole area, the whole community is down. So I'm running this off of cellular and my cell phone. So my apologies. So I am Jennifer Sells. I'm here in Denver, Colorado. And today I kind of want to talk about what you do when you get a cold call or you have a colder lead or you know somebody wants to sell and you just don't know how to get in there to grab it and achieve the sale or achieve the listing. Yesterday, a friend called me, an agent called me from another state, and she said, Jen, what do I do? Like, I've dropped off, a little door hanger and I didn't get a call. And, I let my buddy know to have them call me, but, they're not calling me. So what would you do? And I went through and we talked about all the little strategies that you can do to get your foot in the door. So, I would love to show you everything today. So again, I'm apologizing because I did have it all set up on my other computer to be able to pull up all the graphics and stuff. But one of the first things that I do is we do it's not actually a CMA because you never want to put a value on a property that you haven't seen, but we pull up like the neighborhood CMA, sort of, right? So we say, we're going to create a package that we can drop at the door that makes you the market or the community expert. So maybe that would get them to call you. And I do believe it will, as long as you have, something included in it that makes you a little bit different than the other agents that are knocking down their door. So what I suggest you do is you get these 9 by 12 white envelopes and you have them branded. And then in that, or you do like a little folder or something that is branded to you and looks professional. You can even get the little flap over. They're like envelopes that you put your taxes in, but they're like little flaps. You can get those and you can have those branded to you as well. So start with that. Then we're going to do a community CMA. So basically what we're going to say is let's say it's a ranch or it's a two-story. Here's what all the ranches or all the two-stories in the entire community or in the last, 6 months have sold for. Here's your competition. If you were to list today, this is your competition. And in that little sheet, it's just one sheet, and it has the averages of your actives, the averages of your under contracts, the days on the market, and then what everything has sold for in the last, 6 months. If your market is a 6-month market or a different kind of market, be sure that you're aware. Some places you really only should do a 3-month sold, and some you can do 6. So that being said, that's one sheet that you're going to do. It's a community CMA. The next thing that I would suggest everybody do is print out a gallery. So go to your MLS and then print out a gallery print of all the actives, all the under contracts, and all of the souls that you have on that community CMA. Why? Because it just makes you look like you have more knowledge, really. The more knowledge you can stuff into that envelope that is easy to read and easy to understand, the better it's going to be for you. I also have a little sheet that says what they say about your home. That's the title. What they're saying about your home. And I have a little bird on it. That's just my thing. And then underneath it, I pull the values from every single algorithm that we can find. So we're pulling it from Zillow, Trulio, which is the same as Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Movado, um, Realtor.com, I said, Core Analytics, HomeBot, um, Corfax, like everywhere that you can find a value. So you type in the address, you put the Google search in there, and then you start going through and it'll give you a value from all these different places. So put that in there and then just say, so, and at the bottom of it, make some sort of thing that says, do you think that the computers are always right? Or do you think that the algorithms are always right? Because what you're going to see is how different the values are from one system to the next. Anyway, so I put that in there. And then we do an RPR report. I'll run that, put that in. Um, I'll do a letter, a handwritten like, hey, this is Jenn. I'm a neighborhood expert, yada, yada, whoever this person is told me that you might be thinking about selling. Um, or I saw that you were for sale by owner and I put that in there. Anything else? Yes. If you are, if you have past sales like on Zillow, go and grab your Zillow map. So go to your agent profile on Zillow, pull it up, and then print out, like, save the screen of all your past sales. And then put that in another, like, redesign that into Canva or something, and then put that in there too. So now you have a little bit of color. If that doesn't get you anywhere, I don't know, that I feel like that's going to get you a phone call at least. Another thing that I like to do is to include my marketing email or marketing brochure. It's the same thing, but formatted different. So if you happen to have their email, I would send them an email, a marketing email first. And in that it says, hey, you know, we can sell traditionally, we can sell the kind of way where you buy before you sell. So there's different loans and different options out there where, we offer you to be able to move first. We can sell with cash offers. And I would put all of that in there, the different ways that you can sell and all the different ways that you market into one email or to two emails, depending on how you want to run that. And then I would also have that in my marketing package. So I would have a specific little booklet or a specific little colorful whatever that shows all your marketing. And I might put like an abbreviated version of that into that drop off. Cash offers. Another thing I love to do that kind of separates me from everyone else, especially here at EXP, is I like to either drop my personalized link to Express Offers in there on a QR code that says get your cash offer now, or I like to generate it. Personally, I like to go ahead, like what I do is I go ahead and I generate the cash offer, and there's a reason for it. Um, if you can, I mean, if you can generate that cash offer, it's not, it kind of secures your place in the cash offer realm for that seller. So, so yeah, that's what I do. So I throw all that into a nice little envelope. Then I either go knock the door, I will mail it to them, or drop it off on their doorstep. That's a lot of work to get leads, but that's what I think. That's what I would do if I were my friend who called me yesterday and asked me how to do this. Um, Anybody? Who else is on here? Anybody have any questions today? Or hi, Allison. I know you're out in LA. Can you even hear me?
Morning, I can. Sorry, yes.
Yes. So, yeah, so those are the things that I would do if I was trying to get a colder lead, somebody that I knew was selling, or somebody that had a, like, if you're searching the public records in your MLS, at the very, very, very bottom, in most MLSs, there's a sell score. So if you're going through a community, like if you have a farm and you're going through that community and you want to know, and you're looking for those high sales scores. So let's say you're a newer agent or whatever. If you can find a sales score above 90%, those are the people that I would be dropping off. Not actual CMAs, but community CMAs and all of my little packets too. So do you have any questions about that? Anybody? No. I I think I'm gonna redo this another day when the community internet is actually up and I can show you examples of all of my stuff, my big, 11 by 12 envelopes, my gallery views that I send out, my handwritten letter. I always include a handwritten letter in anything that I drop off because uh yeah, go ahead, Allison, jump
Yeah,
in.
that would be nice to see examples in like a list, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah.
I had it. I actually had it all ready. I was going to be super pro today. Um,
And then life happens.
Xfinity fails us again, right? So I have to. They send me a message 15 minutes before the call, and there's no way I can run to the office in that amount of time. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to wing this one. So if we want to go down the list again, I have a branded envelope or a branded foldover, like file that is totally branded. It depends on how thick it's going to be. Then I do a handwritten letter that says, "Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Or Miss, um, such and such told me you might be thinking about selling, or I have a buyer in the neighborhood that is thinking, that's searching for a home, or something like the properties in this neighborhood are selling fast. If you're thinking about moving or upsizing, downsizing, please let me know." Uh, so that's my hand letter. And then I do an RPR report. I do a community CMA, which basically is one sheet, has the actives with their dollar per square foot, their days on the market. I have the under contracts, dollar per square foot, days on the market, sold, dollar per, that kind of thing. And then if I need to make an explanation, then I'll write out a little explanation of that little report. Then I do the gallery view from your MLS. So I'll do, hopefully it's one page, but here's the active properties. Um, and if there's no active properties, I always make a point to say, hey, there's nothing in the neighborhood right now. And we have, like, let's say 5 under contract. Your property's in high demand. And I'll do a gallery view of the solds so they can just get a visual of what those solds look like and they can, in their mind, compare it to their house. Um, Cash offers, I'll try to do a cash offer or try to do a QR code to a cash offer. And then I always put a marketing, yeah, couple marketing sheets in there. I do an abbreviated version of my marketing flyers. I don't want to give the whole marketing book and the whole marketing flyers to somebody that's cold. I want to reserve those to people who actually have called me, but that's what I do. What do you think?
I like it. It's a lot, but I like it.
Okay, all right. Um, so when you're out and about, what are your challenges right now in, real estate? Do you have anything going on? Do you have any questions? Do you have any scenarios? I'd like to kind of end it up with maybe we can work through something.
I
Or
need more business.
you need more business? Have you called everybody? Have you called everybody in your sphere?
I'm following up with people that are thinking about it. But I don't know what to say to people in my sphere.
Oh, just call them and ask them about, just talk to them about normal things. And then
Okay.
don't even bring up real estate, except for unless you want to tell a story about something that's going on in your real estate world. So you're not asking for business necessarily. I like to call on my sphere and just be like, hey, remember, I'm your real estate agent. Um, I just say stuff like, hey, so did you get your property tax bill, or what's going on? What's going on in your neighborhood? You do you have any questions about anything that's going on, or how confident are you about the values in your neighborhood, and what do you think about the real estate world right now? And like ask an indirect question, and then maybe they'll get into a conversation with you, and then you can follow up and get into that real estate conversation without directly saying, hey, remember, I'm a real estate agent. That's what I do. Uh, with getting more business, you just asked it a certain way, and I was gonna jump off and talk to you about that. Right now I'm pretty insane. But a lot of my business right now is people that have been thinking about selling for quite a long time, and we've just been nurturing them, and they're finally ready to jump off. So, yeah.
I have a lot. I have a lot of those, and I've been thinking about it, and
Okay, so that brings me to my point. So if you have anybody that's been sort of on the fence, a lot of what I have been doing lately is pulling up the stat of the community in the area and then saying, okay, so interest rates have come down. I don't talk about interest rates, by the way. I don't talk about like what they are, but I say interest rates have come down and it's causing buyers to get back into the market. And in your particular area, by the way, um, everybody's looking for a ranch, or everybody's looking for a two-story, or everybody's looking for a house with a pool. And in your price range, there's only like 5 houses available. There's 10 under contract. This is prime time for you to sell. And then just make sure you know a lot about your community, right? So the only way I can explain that is here in Denver, we have a high season of selling. We have had a high season for selling for as long as I've been in real estate, over 20 years. And so March, April, and May are absolutely the highest times for you to get the highest value for your house. It starts to slow a little bit in June, but it's still a great season to sell. It picks up in January and February. And then August is like dead zone. Like nothing is going to sell in August. I mean, it will, but it won't. I would never, it would be the kiss of death to put a house on the market in August, is what I'm trying to say. So if you can figure out your market trends and know them inside out, upside down, then when you're having a conversation with people that are on the fence, you say, okay, in LA, the best time to sell, or the time that we get that highest dollar is, I don't know what it is in LA, right? But and then I would follow it up with um with the interest rate drops, and I'm sure the fires have some sort of effect on your market. Um,
yeah.
the demand is high. So if you're thinking about selling, please let me know, that kind of thing. And let's talk about your values and where you're going to go. And then make sure you're presenting offers like, we can do, and I don't know if you can in California, but we can here. We can do post doc. So we can put it on the market if you're nervous about where you're going to go. We can put it on the market and we can say that you need a 30-day lease back or a 60-day lease back, or it's contingent on you finding another home. So we're not going to displace you. That's a big conversation that I have with a lot of my sellers.
Okay.
Um, so I think just having that market knowledge and being able to go to them and say, with rates down, or pick something that's happening in the market and make that a talking point.
I can put all this in my newsletter that I dropped to my farm.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And consistency. So I don't know if you know this, but a long, long, long time ago when I was married to someone else, we shall not be named. No, just kidding. We farmed and we did the newsletter. We did the monthly mailers. And then we did the just sold whatever, like to 300 to 500, depending on where it was in the neighborhood. And that consistency pays off. Sending it to everybody in the farm, putting it on your social media, doing all those things. I mean, it may take, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I think go ahead, what?
A while. I'm the dominant agent. It's just
Yeah. Well, then, right? So, what market share do you have? Do you know?
no. That's a good question.
That's another thing I would definitely pull up is I would see what my market share is. It sounds like a little bit self whatever, but when you go to a listing appointment in that neighborhood and you say, "Hey, by the way, I have 19% market share or I have 10% market share." So, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 sales is coming, right? And that's huge because there's no other agent in the market that has that big of a market share. They might have a 90th percentile, or you know what I mean? Like something small, but that's what I would have, especially in my community. And I might put that in my newsletter too, that says, "Hey, last year I sold 25 homes in this community. No other agent even came close." So if you're looking for the marketing expert, that kind of thing. I'm sure you already do that, but
No, I don't.
yeah, I would definitely pull my market stats compared to every other agent that sold in there last year. So what I would do is I would start with January. I'd go to my MLS. I'd go January 1 to December 31st. And then I would pull the neighborhood and I would say how many homes sold in there. So let's say there was, I don't know, 100 homes and you sold 15, then just for your own personal knowledge, not for the newsletter, I would literally make an Excel sheet of what other agents had listings in there. And I would put all of that in there and I would say, okay, well, that makes me 20% market share. And this person actually, if I sold 20 and somebody else sold 10, I would be seeing what they were doing for research, like where'd they come from? How are they getting the listings? Do they live in the neighborhood? That kind of thing. Um, but it helps when you're going to listing appointments to say what your market share is compared to others. Yeah. Anywho, so anything else? Any other questions or ideas or discussion points that you want to go over? I'm here, and there's not a lot of people on the call today.
No, that's good. Thank you.
All right. Well, I promise that I will at some point here get the internet back up, and I'll get some examples, and I might just look you up and just email you
Oh, that would be great.
some of my stuff, and then that way you don't have to wait for it to pop into the agent collective. But yeah, those are the items that I do when I'm dealing with cold leads or people that I don't know as well. I just try to get my foot in front of them. The thing that kind of bothered me was the agent that called me yesterday and was like, "What pop buys should I take?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Nobody wants your seeds, you know. The only thing they might want is in the winter, they might want, some windshield fluid. But yeah, like nobody wants the little chi-chis that go on the front step, right? Value. They want to know how much they can get for their house and they want to know They just want to know what can help them get the most. And so that's why I say don't waste your money on the tchotchkes or whatever they are. Anyways, so you have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you guys maybe in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.